Welcome back to the joint, everyone. I am Martin Sakon Novak, and our next review that we have today is a movie that I've watched several different versions of, different directors that have done it. This one is Ted Bundy, American Boogeyman. Released in 2021 under the direction of Daniel Ferret. No, this is why I didn't become a teacher. Ferens, hopefully, got that right. For those of you who don't know, Ted Bundy, serial killer, basically the first person to be named a serial killer who escaped jail not once but twice, and lured young women into his vehicle by acting like he was feeble or acting like he wasn't able to do. But Ted Bundy was able to do a lot, and we would find that out in this movie. In the beginning of this movie, I believe, as I'm looking at my notes here, our director shows how much trust that people... I wasn't born in the 60s, late 80s. I was born in the late 80s, 60s, 70s. I was not during that time. But I'm always fascinated by the thumb out on the road, the ability of not caring about hitchhiking. Could you imagine that today? I mean, I don't know about where everybody lives, but imagine being out there. I don't see the thumb out there anymore. And if the thumb is out there, they're desperate, and I'm not desperate. But that was just, it was such a laid back thing. The thumb out there, somebody gets in the car, there you go. And if you know the history of Ted Bundy, a lot of women wrote to him while he was in jail, and a lot of women defended him, even though the evidence was overwhelmingly against him. Even though Ted Bundy has said that he did do some of these things. They just were lured in by his charm, his candor. That bothers me in this movie right off the bat is that we have our detective Chesney, who is a female in a male environment, which, once again, I'm not a police officer, so I can't say it, but if they're writing about it, there's got to be some sort of truth to it. And she is saying that this guy is, we're not working hard enough on these murders that are happening to these women. And the guys are saying, we've got a whole investigative team. We're putting a whole, unit on. We're doing everything we can. This guy is too elusive. He's too whatever. You could call it cop light duty. I call it BS, that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I think it's ridiculous. She is trying to fight, scream at the top of her lungs saying, no, this guy he's good at what he does. He was a modern day shapeshifter, sort of. A very modern day, at that time, shapeshifter. He also always said, I'm untouchable. He believed, and by all accounts, once you get a taste of blood the first time, once an animal gets a taste of human blood the first time, once you get a taste of something the first time, you're at the casino, you're at the lottery, you win a little bit. All of a sudden you're like, I can win all the time. I can win all the time. Nothing's ever going to stop me. And that's how Ted was, but in a bad way. He saw his victims. He saw them helping him, saying, oh yeah, don't worry. Hey, I dropped my keys. I have a bad back. Or, I'm on crutches. Or I have my arms in a sling and I can't carry my books. He saw, when they said yes, them as being weak. From all documentaries and movies that I've watched and listening to that, he was like a wolf. He never had a good intention. He might have acted like he had a good intention, but at any time, next thing you know, you're now the prey. You're now the victim. Because of your kindness. Because you were weak. As I said, Ted Bundy came up with the name. He didn't come up with the name. Made law enforcement come up with the name serial killer because nobody had seen something like this before. There was no correlation, no connection, no anything between these women and himself. They were just attacks, and they were left in random places. I love that our director Daniel really highlights the women in this. I have seen a lot of these documentaries, a lot of these movies that have been redone about several different serial killers and murderers and all of the above. And because the movie has to sell, we focus on the murderer. We focus on the serial killer. We focus on the wrong people. I believe Ted Bundy, and I wish I had it here in my notes, he admitted, I believe, to a little over 35, killing over 35 women. The way that the police records and the way that it seems like is it could have been well over 100. Go ahead. Well over 100. And this director, Daniels, puts the women first. He makes sure that their names are said throughout the film. He makes sure that those real pictures are said from front to back, from the beginning to the end of this film. He puts them as his main priority, and kudos to you for that, because that's the real story here. Is that not? That's the real story here. It's about these victims, not about the person that victimized people, not about the person that wants to be remembered. These victims never wanted to be in the headline. They didn't even know they were in the crosshairs. But this is what we do as a society. We should probably think about ourselves when it comes to that. Highlighting people who run across the field in the middle of a baseball game or soccer game or football game or whatever game naked. One moment. How do people want to be defined? Well, we're on to the first time that Ted gets caught. And we actually get some audio tapes. This is the first time Ted's really talking to people. And what we get is that a little bit of Ted's background. Now, Ted Bundy did go to law school, dropped out, wasn't able to handle his urges to steal, his urges in other ways, just, like I said, very, maybe that's not the right term, but narcissistic, just somebody who just, says one thing, does the other. Yeah. But this is a game for him. We learn that this is a game for him. He thinks that he can do whatever he wants. He really thinks that he is completely invisible, and that there is no remorse. You helping him out pick up his keys while he hits you with a tire iron. You getting in his line of vision while walking at night with no man by you. That's your fault, not his fault. I mean, come on, how sick is that? How sick? So, the recording that we first get when Ted gets caught in the middle of about to commit another murder, that doctor, psychiatrist, person that interviewed, said that he is the most scary individual that he has ever spoke with in the 16 years of doing his profession. So now we're in December of 1975. What happens? We've got him. We've got him. This is our guy. You would think that the prison, that this would be maximum effort to keep this guy out. Well, apparently wasn't enough. Because Ted makes an escape in December of 1975. His first attempt. Apparently there was a patch in the ceiling, and he was able to get through that, and he was gone, on the move. And I know we're going to skip really fast here. We're now moving on to 1978, and we actually meet Ted's mom in Washington, Tacoma. Sorry. Had to give the roll of the eyes there. For those of you who didn't see that, it's still not the greatest of the day. A place known to be a huge murder capital to this day. His mother, whether completely delusional or just doesn't want to hear it, because sometimes you just don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm a family member. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. That's what his mother is. Emphatically believes that the news, the media, law enforcement have pinned this against her son. That they have some vendetta after her son. I believe deep down she knows how crazy he is. A mother always knows. They're always going to do what they can to defend. I am just completely amazed at how much this mother of his, like I said, she wants to protect him, how much there's still. So, I mean, we're several deaths in. And she is still refusing to believe that this man is capable, this son of hers is capable of doing this. Now, we do learn a little bit about her background. And maybe that, if you watch this movie, that will get you to understand the sickness that I believe. Even, maybe it's just a guy thing, but some of the ways that he lures them in, and like I said, I think there was just so much trust going on back then that it's not, it's just, yeah. He knows exactly what to say. He knows exactly how to act to lure these girls in. It's absolutely mind-boggling that this man is accused of over 100 murders, allegedly. But it's baffling to me that there were so many people that were watching this on the news, that were looking at this, and they were still taking the risks and the chances that they were. Ted knows what kind of woman he can seduce. Ted knows what kind of woman he can get into his car. So his first attempt, well, I don't want to say first attempt. Ted now is in Florida. And he gets a room that is near a sorority house. And of course, this just completely infatuates him. He can't contain himself. So in many ways, with no success, Cheryl, one of the sorority girls, he is trying to woo her to get him into the house. He just wants to be in that house somehow. But he knows he has to be smart about it because he's on the run. Because he still has not been caught yet. Still has not been caught. This is the second escape. Cheryl is very on to him because Ted is pressing. He knows that he has people that are on him. He knows that he has people that are going to get him. Ted Bundy knows that his time is dwindling down. And so, he is trying his best not to obsess over them. He has mannequins in his house. He has different toys in his house. He has hallucinations because of the drugs that he's doing to try to get him to stop having these feelings about going through this madness that he's going through. And once again, I have to highlight the music and the camera work in this show. They make sure you don't need to see the bloody, gory details of what Ted Bundy did. You don't need to see any of that. They make sure that this is solid. My heart was in my throat the whole time during this movie. The music, how it happened, it's not gory, it's not bloody, it's not flashy. It just tells the story. In the end, it's very heartbreaking. And that's all I'm going to say. It's very heartbreaking. The music in this movie is perfect. The secret scenes, the things that I didn't even know about, the way that these women trust him is crazy. Ted isn't always successful, and his classic Volkswagen Beetle will always be recognized along with him. So I'm going to say this. We're in a different era in which we have other technology. We're in a different era in which we know that people can be taken advantage of. We're in a different era of which we know not to put our thumb out for every person, not to let everybody know every little detail about ourselves, because information is power. And once somebody has the power of your information, that can be a problem. This movie, I am going to give out of it a 6.5. So it will not make our 7.0 cut. But my hearts and condolences to the families that have to endure movie after movie of their family member, even this show, having to talk about the horrific experience of somebody that should have been caught and locked away a long time ago.